In 2005, the James Bond franchise faced a crossroads. Pierce Brosnan's era had ended, and the hunt for the next 007 became a media frenzy. Names like Hugh Jackman and Clive Owen were tossed around, but fans were divided. Producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson needed someone to reinvent Bond for a new era. The world waited for the reveal. Then came the shock. Daniel Craig, known for his intensity, was chosen. The backlash was instant. Too blonde, too rugged, not the classic Bond. Tabloids mocked him and critics doubted the choice, but the producers stood firm, seeing a rawness and depth in Craig. This wasn't just a new Bond, it was a bold reinvention. Craig ignored the noise, throwing himself into the role with relentless preparation. He aimed to prove everyone wrong, not with words, but with his performance. The anticipation for Casino Royale soared, fueled by controversy and curiosity. Could this gamble work? Would audiences accept a Bond so different? The franchise's future hung in the balance. The stage was set for a defining moment in Bond history. Casino Royale hit theaters and silenced the critics. Daniel Craig's Bond was raw, physical, and deeply human. The opening parkour chase redefined action for the franchise. This Bond bled, made mistakes, and felt pain. He earned his 00 status on screen, showing a gritty realism. Craig's Bond was emotionally guarded, shaped by betrayal and loss. The love story with Vesper Lynd became the emotional core of his journey. His heartbreak explained his coldness and relentless drive. Gone were the gadgets and camp. This Bond relied on wits and willpower. The fight scenes were desperate and brutal, not polished. Craig's Bond was a flawed hero, his toughness masking a wounded soul. He brought a new depth and vulnerability to the iconic spy. The Daniel Craig era transformed Bond into a serialized, character-driven saga, each film built on the last, creating a cohesive narrative arc. Casino Royale was the origin, Quantum of Solace the revenge-fueled sequel, and Skyfall explored Bond's past. The tone shifted, darker, more serious, and rooted in real-world stakes. Themes of relevance, trauma, and patriotism replaced the old camp. Judi Dench's M became a central maternal figure, her relationship with Bond adding emotional weight. Supporting characters like Q and Moneypenny gained new depth. Action was grounded and visceral with real consequences. Classic Bond elements, cars, suits, martinis, were reimagined for modern audiences. The Aston Martin DB5 returned, not as nostalgia, but as a weapon. This blend of old and new made the Craig era stand out. Bond was no longer just a spy, he was a complex modern hero. Daniel Craig's impact on Bond was undeniable. Initial skepticism gave way to acclaim. He was hailed as one of the best Bonds ever. His emotional depth and physicality set a new standard. Iconic moments emerging from the sea, the Shanghai chase, the final sacrifice, became cinematic legend. His Bond was earned, not inherited. No Time to Die delivered a shocking finale Bond's death, a first for the series. This bold ending cemented Craig's era as a complete self-contained story. He made Bond relevant, complex, and deeply human. The next 007 faces a daunting legacy, not just style, but substance. Daniel Craig didn't just play Bond, he redefined him.